Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very, very last ever live stream for this cartoon, which is not going to be called Dr. Bees 3, but is basically Dr. Bees 3, currently the longest cartoon I've ever made. Not by very much, by like, I don't know, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, but I mean, yeah, it's, you know, still counts, right? Hello, everybody. Welcome to HP Tonight. With me, your boy, HP. Hopefully, I'm coming through loud and clear and not vague and distant and muffled. I've got to be honest, I'm beaten. I am tired. I am pooped out. Not really from animating, from just life in general. From life. Hello, Turbotoxin. Hello, Space in a Space. Hello, Figment. Hello, Mr. Matamation. Bowser the Dog. Edie. Avhamri. Hello, Agsma. Hello, Al Turbo Diesel. Davi88. The Bad Cow Bunch. Sardonic Samurai. Terranium. Oh my gosh. Look at all those people. And Sid Sugar Skull. And Tewak. And Razmaz. Sorry if that was too loud. Yeah, well, thank you. Sardonic Samurai says, good, coming in crisp and clear. Excellent. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, time for a kind of a long and important and possibly very dull stream. Because I have one cartoon. No, I'll start that again. I have one shot left in this cartoon. And it's kind of a boring shot. There's nothing important about it, nothing grand about it, but gonna make a couple of tweaks to a shot that I'm currently on, and then I'm gonna try and create an entire new shot from scratch, background and everything. It's a really basic shot, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And then I will have completed all of the visuals for Dr. Bees 3, my longest cartoon ever. I will need to do sound effect work and music work and some other bits and pieces like credits, which I don't count as animation. Technically, it's visuals. That'll take me another couple of days. But this cartoon is basically done. So let's finish it today on live stream. I've got a Coke. I think we'll probably run about 2 hours today until we're, you know, actually done and dusted. We'll see how it goes. You know, if it looks like it's going to be shorter, I'll pad it out. If it looks like it's going to run over 2 hours, not by much, then I'll just keep going. But if it looks like it's going to be like a 3 or 4 hour stream, then I will have failed and we will not finish the cartoon tonight. But I should finish. So, all right, let me have a swig of drink. Oh my gosh. Mr. Matamation says, have we entered a new futuristic era of 6-minute Happy Harry tunes? Yeah! Thank you for noticing. People think I don't make cartoons anymore. No, I do. They're just 6 or 7 minutes long. So they take, you know, 3 times longer than a 2-minute cartoon. I used to put out 3 2-minute cartoons a year. Now I put out 1 6 or 7-minute cartoon a year. So it's not as good. Certainly the algorithm doesn't like it. So on this shot that I'm working on now, I just wanted to fix something. It was this tongue. I didn't like this tongue here. I hate lip syncing in profile because Dr. Bees, like every character in this cartoon, they don't actually move their jaw when they talk. You'll notice that in a lot of old cartoons, people don't move their jaws when they talk. But in profile, you kind of have to do that. So in profile, his jaw.
To see who's really behind this.
Yeah, so you know, it just looks weird if the jaw is just static the whole time. It looks weird, right? Just wanted to get rid of the tongue there. I didn't feel it was necessary. So we've got a shot here. This is towards the very end of the cartoon. It's kind of a big spoiler. I'm going to try and give no more spoilers than this. But yeah, shock horror. A bad guy who's in the cartoon gets defeated, more or less. And I wanted to improve things a little bit here. So let me just turn him into a motion graphic. And click OK on my other monitor. And what I want to do is, to begin with, I want to add a shadow underneath him because everything else has got a shadow and he kind of looks like he's floating in the ether. So we'll whack a shadow under him and that'll take like 5 seconds. That's not true. It's going to take longer apparently. Where have they hidden the hand? Where is it? It's, how do I get to it? It's like clicking. Oh, I hate the new Flash. Come on. Here it is, the hand tool. Okay, yeah, so we'll just put a drop shadow under him. Something akin to this kind of thing. Sorry I'm not going to be amazing at reading the chat tonight, guys. Obviously, I've got stuff to do. Kind of busy with this. It's going to be a little bit of a rush, I think, to get it all finished in the next 2 hours, but that is my goal. However, I will glance over on occasion. Hello, Arhi Bess. I still don't know how I say your name, but guys, if you're familiar with the Heavy Metal Batman cartoons done by those guys, they're in the chat, and they're very, very talented animators. Thank you so much for coming by. Alright, so just this sort of kind of thing here. And we have a minor continuity issue I've got to fix. So let me tidy the screen up a little bit. So, got this thing here. There's his backpack that he's wearing, this guy, throughout basically all the cartoon, he's wearing a backpack, which is literally just a pillow strapped to his back. It doesn't really make any sense, but I thought it kind of looked like a utilitarian backpack. But because he's the comforter and everything about him is comfort-based, I just thought it'd be a pillow. But I animated him without it once he gets defeated, so I just had it laying next to him here. And I think for continuity's sake, unfortunately, it needs to also be in the shot here when he's laying on the ground. Just sort of out of shot, but there, so that we know it's there, because I don't want to break continuity and just forget it existed. So let me just put it... Shadows only lasting 1 frame for whatever accursed reason. And put it over here. Something like... Can I just reuse that same graphic? It's a bit lazy, but... I feel like that'll do fine. Yeah, there you go. It's just sort of laying next to him.
Instead, we should look to see who's really...
There we go. There we go. Let me hit save and see what people are doing in the chat. Sonic Samurai says, I know you've used Blender. Have you thought about trying a 2D animation purely in Blender? I know a lot of people are really into the 2D stuff on Blender. I might, if I'm not feeling lazy, give it a try one day, but good lord, I just don't. I don't want to learn another piece of software. I already use Toon Boom, Animate, Kani, Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere. Until I see... until I see it do something that really impresses me, maybe. I don't know. I like the integration with 3D. That's cool. Mr. Matamation says, a couple of months ago, I rewatched American Dragon Jake Long on Disney Plus, and I noticed whether or not their jaws move when they talk depended entirely on the overseas studio that did the episode. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, Virtual271, you're right, this is going to be the last shot today. Not this one we're working on right now, but the one that we work on after will technically be not chronologically the last shot of the cartoon, but the last one that I have to create that currently doesn't have anything. Hey, Doni Arts. Hey, Shucharu. Thanks for coming by. Shucharu is a fantastic animator, guys. He helped me on Trilby Dogtooth, but he also directs and animates his own shorts and music videos. Check out Shucharu. He's kick-ass. Hello, Charles Moss. Thank you for coming by. Let me see. All right, that's all I'm gonna read now. Lazy. Gonna give that a break. Okay, so the Comforter's lair is all padded. Let me go into it here. It's sort of padded like, a padded room. I'm trying to think of a reference, like a big, like a giant couch or a padded room or something. And I want to strengthen. Oh, come on! What is it doing? What is it doing? Can it not cut me some slack here? Why is it not? Okay, the color doesn't want to. Yes, that color, please. I want to slightly increase the thickness of some of these lines here that you see that sort of denote the kind of puckering of the couch, of the padded ground, because whenever I render and add all the motion blur and grain and stuff that sort of makes it look like old jittery film, we get we get this kind of effect where the sort of low contrast skinny lines don't really turn up. They basically get lost in the grain. So I'm going to thicken those lines up a little bit. And I'll just put them in his graphic and sort of layer them below. And Hopefully that'll take and look alright. It's a different size. This may not work. This may not be worth doing. Let me see if we just move that over a little bit. Sort of right. Can we get away with that? Let's actually see the shot in action now. Get rid of the stuff at the sides. So, yeah, it's a bit messy over there.
Instead, we should look to see who's really...
Alright, I think we can get away with that. We'll just clean up this little messy area over here. And then I'll thicken the lines up. And then I want to add a little bit of something to the character's expressions. I want to actually add some blinks and some eyebrow movement to Dr. B's and some blinks to the Comforter as well. So let's try and do that. Now I want to thicken up the lines. So you go to, what is it to do that? It's like 3 maybe should do it. Okay, those should actually show up now when we render it out.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind the...
And I'm going to make it a slightly lighter color, too. And add just 1 or 2 of these little puckers actually in the shot with him, because there are none in the foreground. Something like that. Okay, why is that not showing up? Why is that not showing up? Oh, did I make them the wrong color? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, I just wanted to add some detail there to the floor with the drop shadow. Real boring stuff. It'll get a little bit more interesting now, guys. Appreciate you coming by. I mean, it's going to be kind of a boring stream. I'm mentally just working through the last part of the cartoon here and trying to finish it all up. Figment says, I would love a padded room of sorts, so I would have an excuse to sleep anywhere I want. I mean, yeah, it'd be comfy. I wouldn't mind that. Davy88 says, is he going to rip off his face? What on earth are you getting at, Davy88? It's horrendous. What have you been watching? Super D Slay says, Harry Partridge live. Are you planning any special events on release for the Discord server? Maybe a watch party. What would that be? I mean, it's a 6.5 minute long cartoon. I don't really know what people get out of watching it together. I mean, I could, you know, I'll link people probably before it drops on YouTube, I imagine by a couple of days. What I think will happen is I'll finish my sound effects and music, and then the French dub, which I think will probably release at the same time as the English version on my friend Ben's channel. He will probably need a couple extra days to get that finished, and then I'll probably have to share it with Discord and Patreon ahead of time when it's done, and I'll just basically keep it kind of among us guys. And then once it's had, you know, a time to do the French dubbing, we'll share it, you know, publicly on the main YouTube channel. Joseph Crofts says, hi Harry, I'm wondering, do you like the band Glory Hammer? I've never heard of Glory Hammer. Sounds like you made them up. I'm sure you didn't though. Alright. So I'm going to add some blinks here to the Comforter, just so he kind of looks... Let me see.
So, instead, we should look to see who...
So, where is his layer? It's like... It's here. So what I'm going to do is cut his eyes out. Cut his bloody eyes out, and then put them on a different layer, and just add some kind of... Maybe staggered blinks, like he's not, you know, he's obviously just been beaten up and stung by a million bees, so he's not really going to be super together. Alright, so thinking this kind of thing for the blink. Let me get that brush to be a good thickness. Actually, what I want to do is I want to stagger them. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep that one eye as is, and then create a blink there. Like so. Kind of blue. And then what I'm going to do is copy that same eye again onto this frame. So we're going to have to... This is weird. I should have just put them on different layers. You know what? Why don't I just do that? Hey, Harry, there's an idea. Just put them on separate layers and you can mess the timing up. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to create a new layer for one eye, which will be here. And then we've got the blinked frame here, and so we'll do that, and we'll blink this eye in a minute, and then this eye is going to blink kind of like this. So let's finish this blink up first. Let me just put his face there. Blink. All right, so what I like to do with blinks is I don't like the eye to be closed just for one frame. I always like to have it a little extra bit of it being closed, just so we feel it a little bit more. Maybe just 3 frames of being closed as opposed to 2 or 1. And then we're going to have him open it back up. We could reuse the same frames that we used for closing the eye to open the eye. But what happens then if you don't actually edit the frames, you don't get the eyelid kind of dragging behind. We want it to really drag open, so we'll do that instead. So we'll have this kind of thing. So it's like that. And get some nice easing in on that blink. Real nice easing in, just so we feel it kind of, you know, the kind of flappiness. Maybe one more frame here. It's gonna get tedious now. Tell you what, this bloomin' brush is too thick. Let's go with a 3. It's a bit more like it. Okay, we'll go with something like this. Really create that nice, flappy, lazy lid. Because he's tired. He's had his butt whooped, you know? He's barely keeping his eyes open. Like me. I'm exhausted this week. It's because everything's opened. Finally, Britain has opened its shops for the first time all year. And I'm actually getting to go out and physically go places and, you know, leave the house. And my body is adjusted to a completely sedentary lifestyle. It's not used to it. All right, so something like that. And let's just add a little bit of a boil here, just so we get something that kind of feels even more kind of bloop, like that. Okay, so that's going to be one blink. And nope. Oh, I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to go in and fix this line. I don't like it. It came out too thin. There we go. Don't like that boil. Okay, cool. That's one blink. That's one blink. And now we're going to do another blink. I told you it'd be tedious. I warned you all. Hey, Dajo Paho. Dajo Paho in the chat. Hello, Nacho Hamburg. Did I say hello to you already? I can't tell. I can't tell. There's so many of you guys. Hey, John La Banana. Sid Sugar Skull says I might check out Gloryhammer for kicks. Yeah, guys, check out Gloryhammer. I'm too busy. I've got cartoons to make. But hey, maybe Gloryhammer are great. Super D-Slay says, Harry, how often do you watch your own completed cartoons? Do they entertain you when you've done them? When you're done with them? I mean, sometimes I have to watch them for reference to understand, like, what did that sound effect sound like, or what was the timing like there, or what does Kilgar's voice sound like again? You know, just stuff like that. So I actually need to watch them sometimes. I occasionally put them on, just usually if I haven't seen them in like 2 years, I'll go, what was that cartoon like again? I'll put it on. But they don't bring me entertainment at all. They bother me hugely. I watch them and I go, oh, God, and I just get reminded of all the mistakes. I watched Dogtooth the other day for the first time in a while, and all I can see is bad drawing, bad timing, things I should have done differently. It's all I can see, and mistakes, not mistakes really, but shortcomings, you know, things that I should have done better. That's all I see. So it's a necessary evil, but it's not always entertaining. Hello, Reese Jones. Jacob Carmine. I love tedium, says Jacob. I'm British. Yep, we excel at it. Brady Kothoop. Brady. How am I going to say your name? Hey, Harry, you're the coolest. It's true, Brady, I am. Special Fish Simon says, there aren't enough of us. Special Fish Simon. Corey, say what? Tewak says, spoken like a true artist, Harry. Well, I mean, look, I'm not trying to be humble. It's honestly true. I look at things I made in the past, and they all feel kind of embarrassing and bad. Except for Steven the Lesbian, 100%. 100% glad I made that one. I know I'm sounding sarcastic, but I don't really hate it. It's fine. It was a different time. Oop. Alright. Keep adding in-betweens, baby. So we don't really have much animation to do today. It's like stuff like this, you know. I mean, this is technically animation, but it's kind of easy. It's a little bit turn your brain off. I've got to do a little bit of stuff like this on Dr. Bees in a minute. Want to give him some eyebrow and eyelid stuff. Okay, and we're gonna create just a nice sort of settle in frame there on this lid. Bloop, bloop. And have him really drag when he comes back up. And keep dragging away. I was in the school play for Grease when I was a kid, the musical Grease, and we had the original stage play script to work from, which was different to the movie script and had some different lyrics. And in the movie, when they're singing about Grease Lightning, they go, "It's a real pussy wagon, Grease Lightning." And the kid that sang that song, that played Kaneki, he really wanted to sing, "It's a real pussy wagon," but our teacher didn't want us to. She wanted us to stick to the words in the play, in the screen script, which I think was more appropriate for kids. It had some of the raunchy stuff taken out. And the line in the script was, "She's a real dragon wagon." And I remember him just saying, like, "I don't want to sing that. I don't want to sing Dragon Wagon. I want to sing Pussy Wagon." And I think when it came to the last night, he just sang Pussy Wagon anyway, because, you know, what's the teacher going to do? And also in the play, at least our version of the play, they weren't called the T-Birds, the gang, the John Travolta gang. We're not called the T-Birds. They were called the Burger Palace Boys. And we kind of campaigned to be called Burger Palace Boys. No, to be called T-Birds. Where I remember we went to the teacher and said, we don't want to be the Burger Palace Boys. It sounds stupid. She's like, okay, fine, we'll change the name to T-Birds. Whatever. All right, she lets us get away with that. So she was a nice lady. I remember my sister played Sandy in the play, which was awkward because I had to pretend I had a boner for her. I had to pretend at the end I was one of the Burger Palace Boys come T-Birds, and our genius director wanted us to sit. She wanted a joke where as Sandy walks past at the end of the story when she's all dolled up, you know, when she looks like all vampy. I wanted a joke where the boys all cross their legs because they're trying to stifle boners. But it was my sister, you know, playing Sandy, so I had to pretend to stifle a boner over my own sister at the end of our school production of Grease, and I didn't enjoy doing that. I didn't enjoy trying to, you know, pretend to find my sister hot in the play. I was Doody, by the way. I was the guy that goes out with Frenchie, so I didn't have to make out with my sister. I didn't play Danny Zuko, thank God. I was too young anyway. I was like a couple years younger than her. No, you know, that's the only thing that would have been wrong with it otherwise. So my sister was blonde, and she played Sandy, and she decided she didn't actually want to dye her hair, but she realized that maybe one of the only reasons that she got the role is because she was one of the few girls that did drama and sung that was blonde. And she got it in her head that she was going to ask if she could dye her hair before the performance. And I remember she said, well, she can't stop me. Our teacher can't stop us. If I want to dye my hair, she's going to have to let me. She doesn't have a right to change my life like that and stop me from dyeing my hair. And so she went and asked the teacher, could she dye her hair brown before the performance? And the teacher said no. I remember my sister was really upset, but she wasn't really upset. She was, you know, feigning indignation. All right, I'm going to stop talking about sister boners and get back to work here. So we've got our blink. We've got our blink here, like blink, blink, like that. Blink, blink. And what we're going to do is, guys, we're going to copy and paste this here blink. Hang on, we got Dr. B's in the way, so we're going to wait for Dr. B's to get out of the way before the first blink.
Instead, we should look to...
So let's give it another couple of frames. Like, maybe that much.
Instead, we should look to see who...
Got another couple of frames.
Instead, we should look to see who's rich.
And we're going to do another blink now, but this time I'm going to do it so that this one comes first. So it's like... So it's like this. Blink. Blink. It's maybe a little bit too much. Blink. Oop. Alright, let's take a look at that in action.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind.
Mr. Matamation says, you did it again and how I'm a misinterpretive porn star anyway. Ah, shut up, Mr. Matamation. Get out of here! Arch Hippie says, that sounds like a bad creative decision, TBH. Rusty Brusher says, I love out of sync blinks. Me too, man. Love them. The good stuff. Oh, thank you. Super D Slay says, lovely blink. It's a pretty good blink.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind.
Keep singing this stupid song all day today by a band called Spaced, who were a big kind of band in the UK in the early 90s, and they had a song that went, who lives in a house like this? Who lives in a house like this? And it was because I'll tell you why. It's because I was looking at this background and I thought about tweeting this background, the lair of the comforter. He's comfortable, so everything's cozy. He's got his chicken noodle soup, his hot cocoa, his stuffed animals, his warm milk, his chamomile tea. Look at this fucking champ right here. Love that guy. But I thought about tweeting, who would live in a lair like this, and then I couldn't help but think of who lives in a house like this. Who lives in a house like this? At number 41 there lives a Mr. Miller. He's a local vicar and a serial killer. The song is called In My Neighborhood. Or no, just My Neighborhood maybe? My Beautiful Neighborhood? Anyway, Neighborhood something by a band called Spaced. Anyway, back to the animation thing I'm trying to do.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this infernal...
Okay, alright, that's good. I like that. I think that shot works now as far as the comforter is concerned, but we want to fix Dr. Bees. He doesn't need fixing, he works as is, but I want to do some stuff with him. So...
Instead, we should look to see who's really...
So, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to motion tween something, because what I did was, before the live stream, is originally, while I was doing the, when I was doing the lip syncing, everything was on the same layer. I had the lip sync on one layer, but then I had the eye and the hand all on the same layer, and I thought, I know I'm going to want to animate them separately. I want to add some punctuation to the dialogue by moving the hand up. So, what I'm going to do is animate the hand. So you can see it was part of the same layer because I just had to cut it out. So we're gonna clean up the old limb here. And how can I do that effectively? I guess it's just annoying. See, this is something if I storyboarded the cartoon like I'm supposed to, I would probably have not needed to do that. I would have just drawn it on a separate layer from the beginning and avoided all this hullabaloo. And I did think about frame by framing this hand up and down, but we don't have time for that, and it's not really necessary. Okay? So get off my back. Don't accuse me of being lazy for not frame by framing everything. I can't help it. Alright, so that looks sort of like the rest of the glove there would need to look. Okay. And we'll make it all motion tweeny by making it a classic tween. And let's see, something to this effect.
We should look to see who's
and what we're going to do is have it go down. See. And then we're going to have it go back up again. As much as we can kind of get away with.
See who's really behind this. See who's really behind.
It looks a bit crap right now, but we'll get that fixed in a minute. Let me see, Terranium says, ew! Kilgar. You, I feel all practical and cost-effective! Yeah, we're not fans of tweens in this house. Tweens are very, very useful and excellent, and it's all animation at the end of the day, okay? The Dispenser. Hello, the Dispenser. Dispenser says, no, you can't just make another Dr. Bees animation by adding more bees. Oh, again, another. See, I don't know these are quotes until I read to the end of them, and I go, oh, I should have been doing it in a voice. I mean, that guy sounds like Kilgard too, the change it guy.
No, Dr. Bees, you can't just replace every red blood cell in your body with bees. That's too many bees.
To see who's really behind. See who's.
Okay, so something like.
See who's really behind.
I don't like how the hand is sort of getting.
Who's really behind?
Yeah, it's moving too far.
Who's really behind? Who's really behind?
I want to maybe give it a little bit of rotation or something, just to change it up a little bit.
Who's really behind?
No, that doesn't work.
See who's really behind?
Who is really behind it?
See who's really behind? See who's really behind? See who's really behind?
Who's really behind? It's that. I know, guys. I know. It's really annoying when you hear the same thing said over and over again, and over again, and over again, and over again. But as an animator, you just get like a thick, dense, callous a mind callous to it. You just accept it. Your big hard brain isn't bothered by it anymore. I remember when I was working, this is going back a long time, I was working on Stephen the Lesbian in an apartment that I owned when I moved out of my parents' house when I was 23. Bit late, but whatever. When I was living on my own, and I was animating some stuff on you know, for Stephen the Lesbian and doing the lip sync, and I shared a wall with my neighbor, and I was just doing this thing where I was animating one, you know, moment, and I was just playing over and over again, whatever it was.
Behind this, behind this, behind this, behind this.
And I just fucking hear the guy go boom, 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 boom on the wall and shout like, "Behind this, shut up!" Like, you know, he wasn't happy, but I don't even notice it, you know, because I'm so used to just, you know, having to do lip sync where you listen to the same thing over and over again. Scrubbed audio syndrome, they call it, says Animated Taco. Hey, thanks for coming by, Animated Taco. Great artist, everyone. You should check out Animated Taco's work. Does kind of cool G.I. Joe, Saturday morning cartoon type characters really beautifully. Good at doing pixel art, too. Mr. Matemation says, maybe start the shot with the hand out of view and then erase, you know, ease out the yeah, buddy.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice idea, Mr. Matemation. I wish I'd done that, but here's the thing: I don't want to have to change. I know, yeah. I mean, I could erase all of the hands, but nah. No, I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna keep the hands. I don't want to have to go back and erase them all. It's a nice idea that he had to actually have the hand come up from behind the body. It's a cool idea.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this.
Alright, so what we're going to do is add some easing. This kind of type thingy.
See who's really behind. See who's really behind.
And
who's really behind?
Who is really behind? It's me. Behind the release date. This thing should have been out in September. Yeah, that kind of thing. So.
See who's really behind. See who's really behind this.
Okay, but it shouldn't be on ones. It's on ones right now because it's a motion tween, and it doesn't fit the Dr. B's aesthetic to be too smooth on ones. So I'm gonna stick this on twos like so, and then should look a little bit more like it fits within the Dr. B's aesthetic.
To see who's really behind. See who's really behind. See who's really behind. See who's.
Maybe we could have 1 on 1.
See who's really behind. See who's really behind.
Looks a bit chunky. I don't know.
See who's really behind. See who's really. See who's really behind this.
It's alright. You know, the other thing I think I'm going to do to try and salvage it a little bit is I'm going to boil every other frame. And I should have done that, actually. I should have redrawn. Can I still do that?
See who's really behind.
If I go into the graphic here and redraw the hand a couple times, we might get more of a boil frame by frame look. It's going to be a little bit more, I think, a little bit more appealing to thine eyes. Brush is too fat again. I keep going with these big fatty brushes. Doesn't need to be beautiful looking, because I think the whole point is that we want some of that wobble to come back in. Just looked a bit too smooth. And then when I'm done on this, we'll fix Dr. B's expression, because I think his eyes can have a little bit more life and vitality to them. And that will be this shot totally finished once we've done Dr. B's eyes. And we can worry about the brand new shot that I'm going to do, because we still have one more shot left that has absolutely no work done on it whatsoever. It's literally a blank screen. We've got to do the background. We've got to do everything. It's an extreme close-up of the ground. It's a boring shot that we're going to be doing. It's an extreme close-up of the ground, so it's not like it's going to take too long to figure out. All right, maybe I'm only going to do one of these wobbly in-betweens, because otherwise it's going to take a little bit too long. And you all have places to go. We got to be moving on to that next shot sometime. So, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. It's always a pain in the ass doing onion skin on anything when you've already done in the filled in the colors, because you just can't see shit. Great. Great, that's exactly what I wanted. Alrighty. Let's fill this in like so. And you know, there was a time back when I was younger where if I did the last shot of a cartoon, it meant literally it would be going online that night. You know, I would maybe I'd do an hour of adding sound effects, an hour or two, and then it would just be it would be up. But unfortunately, I know I'm going to need to take probably 3 days, 4 days, maybe even more to do sound effects on this. Hours to do credits, because I have all the Patreon supporter names we've got to put in. You know, it's gonna take a while. I wish it was like the old days, but it's not. Things just take longer.
Should look to see who's really behind.
Yeah, I don't like that vibrating animation there, but I can't even tell actually which. Okay, so something like that one, and then we'll go. We'll take the crappy one for that frame, and the good one, and this one will be the crappy frame, and then this one will be the clean frame, and then this one will be the crappy frame again. Clean frame. And the crappy frame. And that might do the trick. Let's take a look at that.
To see who's really behind.
Oh, what the fudge happened there? Why did the... Fuck, why did this, why did the little highlight disappear? That's not good. All the highlights disappeared. Do you see this? Was that... Damn it. Was that actually in the file? Hang on, guys. Hang on. Let me figure this crap out. No, highlights fine. Why did it do that? Oh, yay. Alright, hang on. Gotta go back to formula. For F's sake, man, I didn't think this would take so long.
See who's really behind.
Someone's texting me. I wish they wouldn't. I'm on a live stream. Yeah, okay. Alright. Apparently somebody died. Somebody I don't know, but my mum is not having a good day, so alright guys, sorry about that. Right, let's where were we? Okay, let's take each frame and we'll just select which part of the graphic it's pulling from. How do you do? Play one frame only. This is going to be play 1 frame only. Play frame 2, play 1 frame only. And this is going to be play frame... Oh no, let's play frame 1, right? 2, 1. Play 1 frame only. I was not behaving for some reason.
Who's really
Play 1 frame only. Why is it? This is the play 1 frame only, right? Play graphic once. Oh no, it's not. Play single frame. There we go. That's the one I wanted. I've only been using this software since I was 2 years old, basically 2 months old. So it'll be frame 2, and we want to play that one. And
really behind? See who's really behind this. See who's really behind.
yeah, that looks a little bit too wobblesome. I think I'm just going to add a little bit of a smoothing there.
See who's really behind.
And I'm going to move on because this is painful. Why has everything gone grey? I'm gonna go back to the main timeline there. Okay, so let's just zoom out, get our bearings here. Got lost a little bit there in the woods, guys, because it took a long time. All right. Hey, Team Visa came by. Are they still here? Hey, thank you for coming by, Team Visa, and Alcastrophobia too. All right.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind. To see who's really behind. Should look to see who's really behind this sin. We should look to see who's really behind. We should look to see who's really behind.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't think it needed to wobble at all, really, but
See who's really behind. See who's really behind. Really behind. See who's really behind.
I ended up taking some of the wobble frames out. But sorry guys, my phone is blowing up. I wish they would leave me the hell alone. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna turn my phone off, guys. Actually, I'm just gonna throw it across the room, so hopefully you won't hear it. I don't know if that's coming through or not. But oh, it was a terrible throw. I threw it all of 1 foot. All right. Now it's at the back of the room. Okay. All right. So I'm happy with Dr. Bees' hand now and the comforter in that shot. But Dr. Bees, we still want him to be. Phone's still going. That's just sickening. We still want Dr. Bees to have a little bit more life to him. So
instead, we should look to see who's really behind this infernal.
Guys, I'm just gonna take my phone and give it to Joyce, okay, and let her deal with it because it's just annoying me a little bit. 1 second. Hello, thank you for that. See, my sister and my mum and I are in a three-way conversation, And I got I'm waiting for the day that I could just tell them that I don't really want to be in it anymore, because I love them both to bits, but they like to chat, and when they're talking to each other, I'm getting prompts constantly, and maybe there's a way you can turn it off for specific conversations on the app, but it just drives me crazy, because they're talking among themselves about, you know, girl stuff or whatever, mum-daughter stuff, and I check it because I think, oh no, you know, whatever, you know, what's going on? Is this important? And it's inevitably nothing I need to worry about. Anyway.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind.
Yeah, don't worry about talking to your loved ones. Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this whole ordeal. So, what I'm thinking for this shot.
Instead, we should look to see who's. Instead, we should look to see.
Looks to see who's.
And we should look to see who's really.
I'm just thinking with Doctor. So we're gonna move his eyebrows. It's on its own layer, and I'm thinking.
And we should look to see who's really.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna crunch it down, and give us sort of a nice beefy looking blink type thing. Gonna have to extend the forehead out a little bit.
Look to see who's really. To see who's really. See who's really. We should look to see who's really.
And then what we're gonna do is have it pop back open, but I want to really overshoot it and get sort of a nice kind of exaggeration of the whole thing. Yeah, maybe even more than that. Maybe something kind of... That's a nice thing in animation, when you can get lines to invert, you know, because if we've got the eyebrow kind of like that, when it pops up, it's doing that, you know, it's that inversion of the curve, if that makes sense. So we're actually over exaggerating it by changing the shape of the curve and, well, inverting it, like I said. And... Okay, so...
See who's really behind this.
And I want one more effect. At the end of the line where he says, who's really behind this? I want to have him slightly dip his eyebrow. This kind of thing. And I want to... do this kind of thing where he is looking sort of cocky. He's got his eye half closed, and hopefully this will make sense when we take a look. So he's gonna go
to see who's really behind this.
Yeah.
Who's really behind?
So I might have it come in a little earlier than that, but it's that sort of, hey, I know what's up. I can tell you the whole deal. I'm Dr. Bees. My stomach is gurgling like crazy. I don't think you'll be able to hear it. I don't think the microphone's quite that good, but it's really loud. Immortal Demon. I'm always glad when an Immortal Demon pops up in the chat and we get to hang out with a Hellspawn. Immortal Demon says, cross his eyes when he quickly opens it. When he quickly opens it, huh?
To see who's really behind this.
Oh, I am. You know, I don't know. We can't show really a crossed eye with only one eye, but we could do this kind of thing.
Who's really behind? Who's really behind this?
So we could have the eye, have the pupil pop out, so it sort of looks like he's gone bug-eyed. It kind of works.
To see who's really behind this. Behind this.
So I think that will work nicely. Thank you. Isn't, like I say, a demon is always helpful. They just appear in a puff of sulfurous smoke and they go, hello, Harry. Would you like an animation tip? I don't know why there's an Irish demon. But, you know, all I have to do is exchange my soul for some minor backseat directing help. It's honestly a worthwhile trade. Yeah, on my stomach. So the reason my stomach is growling so much is I am trying to keep a food diary at the moment because I'm getting some help in the gym from a trainer, and he wants me to keep a food diary of everything I eat. And I told him this. I said, the minute you have me do that, I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to start eating better because I'm embarrassed to show another human being the crap that I eat. And he said, just, it's fine. Just if you do it for long enough, you'll eventually tell the truth. You'll tell the truth if you do it for long enough, because you won't be able to resist. If I get really, drawn to ordering a pizza or whatever, which I'm honestly thinking about doing tonight. If I get drawn to that pizza and I eat it, I'm not going to be able to fight that temptation. So, but today I've tried to be good because I had an ice cream wafer sandwich after lunch, and I hate that I have to write in I had an ice cream sandwich. I feel like a 5-year-old. So I've not eaten anything since lunch, and it's now nearly 9 p.m. in Britain, and I'm just very, very hungry. Okay, that's why my stomach's rumbling. Anyway, back to the work. Hey, Magma Muncher! Magma Muncher's been doing some really kick-ass little fan animations lately. He did a really cool Hogstrong one from the live stream, and he did a Buzz Lightyear one too, I think. I think you finished that one. It looks great. Mickey Z in the his use said, "Hey Harry, I can't watch the stream right now, but will do when I can, and good luck with the stream." Well, thank you, Mickey. I'll be honest, Mickey, it's not going to be worth it. It's going to be just me rambling about having a rumbly stomach and complaining about my mum texting me too much. But yeah, anyway, let's do some animation, I suppose.
To see who's really.
Alright, well, we've got our keyframes. I keep hitting this thing by mistake. I don't even know what it does. Can I get rid of it? No. Alright, so we're going to have his... Let's have it drag a little bit. The eyebrow there.
To see who's to see who's really.
And we want to favor kind of the end position here. Like so.
See who's really behind. To see who's really behind. See who's really behind.
And I'm really gonna have it come up with a kind of drag there, and don't want the eyelid to open right away. I'm kind of gonna make it sticky, like it's kind of thing. So it pops.
See who's really behind. See who's really behind. See who's really behind.
Who's really behind? Let's have that eyebrow look a little bit more circular. There we go. Pupil. That's the word I'm looking for. Cabbage. Calculator. Mine train.
Who's really behind.
Yeah, okay, so, I mean, that could be on a 1, maybe, to in between that.
Who's really behind?
Guess that could be on a 1. I feel like 1s shouldn't be in Dr. Bees, because the animation's supposed to be kind of basic, but I've put in loads. Okay.
See who's really behind. See who's really.
It's weird with the eyebrow. I keep calling it an eyebrow. The pupil. Statue of Ganesh. Barrel of beans. What are they called? Yeah, I need to get the pupil back into its place, and I don't know if I feel like it bouncing around like that.
See who's really behind.
let's do like a real nice slow ease in. And okay.
Who's really behind the who's really behind the
Doesn't that look good? The eye going all spazzy.
who's really behind the instead we should look to see who's really behind
I think it could just be a little bit less extreme. Just think of putting it somewhere there, or it's not quite. Not quite all the way out there. And I do apologize for you guys having to hear the same audio again and again. I don't think it will be quite that bad when we do our next shot, but it could be. It absolutely could be. Geranium says, "Damn, Harry, you make me want to animate right now." Dude, I don't know how that's possible. I don't look at me animating and want to animate. I look at me animating and I want to go downstairs and rest my aching body and eat cheese and watch Joyce play Doom. That's what I want to do.
to see who's really behind this who's really behind the who's really behind
I was just wondering if I should put it on a 3.
really behind this see who's really behind this
I think we're going to overshoot this position slightly. Just to...
behind this
Just because I think that'll give him more of a cocky kind of... So it's a more extreme change of sort of mood.
behind this
And in between that, back from the overshoot into its actual position. And there we go. Here we go. Oh, guys, if you only have time to animate one part of your character, well, if they're talking, it's got to be the mouth, but if you only have time to animate one part, and you don't have time to animate, you know, the whole body or even the whole face, just have the eyes change expression, because that's the thing that people focus on. It's the part of the body that people look at. Especially when you're talking to other people, you kind of look around the eyes, and it's the part of the body I think you can get the most expression and comedy with. So yeah. Hey, Ericman. Cyberframe Studios says, how often do you have to ditch an in-between because it doesn't fit? I mean, sometimes. I'm kind of a miser. If it's a really hard in-between to do, you know, if it took some time, I'll just use it because I don't want to sacrifice all that work. But Arch Hippie says, damn, Harry, you make me want to eat cheese and watch Joyce play Doom. No, I mean, yeah, I agree that. Davy88 says, Joyce Doom stream when? Oh, I only got it for her like 3 days ago. I got a Doom Eternal a couple months ago, and she doesn't like it that much because of the platforming in it. So she said this week, she said, I think I might just enjoy 2016 Doom more, so I got her that one.
Behind this, to see who's really behind this.
Alright, and we'll add one more in between, just getting it sort of down. I don't know.
Behind this.
Alright, well, they're good. We can color it in now, and coloring's fun. Why do they call it cheesing? Because it's fun to do. It is fun to color, though. It doesn't take a whole lot of energy. I can kind of talk while I'm doing it. He's got a big Ted Danson brow now. Big old monster brow, briefly. Look at that off-model Dr. Beast. You know, Dr. Beast, he always looks off-model unless... He always looks off-model unless it's the stock, like, 3/4 face view that I've used since 2013 of him. I hate drawing him any other time. Unless I actually trace that image, I can't seem to get the face perfect. But there's quite a lot of, you know, different angles you see him from in this cartoon, and he does look off-model occasionally. But what can you do? You gotta roll with the punches. So we're nearly done on the black, and I'm gonna try and add a little bit of skin tone to probably the eyelid, to get it to sort of feel a little bit more 3D, because of course it's following contours of his face without the eye even being there, which we don't want. And oop. That's that line was a lot thicker there on the keyframe. Always happens. For some reason, whenever I do in-betweens, the lines are thicker on the keyframes than on the in-betweens. And you sort of go in, and if it's an important keyframe, you kind of want to... important in-between, you want to sort of match it.
Really behind this? To see who's really behind this.
It's not perfect. But again, Dr. Beast is a cartoon that has all this grain and blur. Not blur, but sort of like, yeah, like an out-of-focus gauziness added to it in post to make it look old. And I really wish all my cartoons could have that. It wouldn't make any sense to make every cartoon look like it was from the 1950s, but it really does save you from having to do sort of, I don't know, perfect lines. You just kind of, some, you know, little gaps in the coloring or whatever, it kind of smooths them over, which is nice. I like that. Arch Hippie says Eternal definitely takes some getting used to. Yeah, I didn't realize there was a difference, but I mean, I don't really play first-person shooters. I didn't really play Doom. Figment says old school Doom was my childhood. Yeah, we have Doom 2 on the Switch, but I never really had it. I have a PlayStation version of, I don't know if it's Doom. I think it's Doom 1 and Doom 2 combined. But even by the time I had it, you know, it felt old-fashioned to me because I was into Tomb Raider and Resident Evil, and those games felt more, I mean, they are more advanced. They literally came out after Doom, but I was never really into FPSs that much. Probably the most I ever played of an FPS was maybe Counter-Strike back in the day, and I beat Condemned on the original Xbox, which was a first-person game, but not really much of a shooter.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this.
Alright, well, let's add some contours then to the eyeball. So, yeah, this sort of thing here, we don't want it to look like it has no volume to it. If I was being lazy, or if I was being less lazy, I would add more contours to the brow. But I think we can get away with the brow being uncontoured, basically. I think it's the eyelid that we want to fix.
To see who's really behind this.
Alright, well, the lines go thick and thin, but I reckon that shot is done. So this is one shot done, but there's one that we haven't touched at all yet, which we'll get to in a minute. I'm just going to double check things.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this infernal... Really behind this
I don't know if I like the eye going down at the end there with the eyelid, the heavy eyelid.
Instead, we should look to see who's really behind this
yeah, I'll keep it. I'll just keep it, whatever. If it gets cut before the end of it, then fine, but I'll keep it for now. Let's move on. So the other shot we're going to do is this, okay? So this guy who's laying on the floor right here, he is called the Comforter, and his whole gimmick is that he can make people comfortable by shooting them with a ray gun called the Comfortizer, okay? heavy lore. Okay, this is going to be a pop quiz on this. It's really important that everyone learns this. It's this thing here. It's a gun that has a pillow for a magazine and little Z's or Z's if you're American as the kind of whatever you call them, the little scope thing at the end. What do you call it? I don't know. Sights. So yeah, he's got that. So anyway, he tries to, when he gets stung by bees, he tries to make himself comfortable, and we get this cool exchange here. Hang on.
I sting all over. I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard any of that. I know that we don't have the desktop audio piping through. I'll turn up the speakers a little bit. Yeah, Jacob says Condemned was more of a first-person hobo puncher. Yeah, there was a lot of punching hobos in Condemned, and hitting people with like a lead pipe. I liked it. I remember thinking it was cool until it went a bit too supernatural at the end. I preferred it when it wasn't so supernatural. Team Visa says, Harry, me and my friend have been wanting to make our own animation for a while. During a certain point, we want to purposefully reference Stephen the Lesbian by saying the arena, of course. All right, go ahead. I'm not going to copyright that phrase. All right.
I sting all over. I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so.
All right. So, yeah, Geranium says a very straight no, I don't think so. Yeah, no, fuck him. He's not allowed to. So yeah, we have this big shot here that's missing where, because I'm an idiot and I didn't storyboard it, I actually didn't think we needed this shot, and we probably didn't had I done a better job. What happens is I had this in mind, like a close-up of him going,
I'm so uncomfortable.
Like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable, ow, ow, and then I would go have this shot of him, just the gun just coming up into frame here, which is a motion tween, I know, so sue me, it's Dr. Bees.
On myself.
But it didn't work. I just didn't like it when I watched it back. I actually think, partly because we recorded so much audio, of him going like, because we have so much of that crap, we need something to fill it. I don't just want this long unbroken shot. So what I thought would be good to make up for the fact that he just brings it up into shot here and you don't see him grab it, and to acknowledge, where it is in the space. It's technically behind him, but the way that you can't really see it. If we hang on, where is he? Yeah, it's like around here. This is a cursed image here with an upside down mouth and one eye. Yeah, well, Figment says she laughed. I'm really glad. Davy88 says I like the delivery. I'm glad you got. Hey, I think this is a funny cartoon. It's 6.5, 7 minutes of non-stop fun and japes and laughter and jokes. Oh, Team Visor asks, can they put me in a cartoon saying I'm suing someone? Yeah, okay, sure. What am I going to do? Sue you? Sue you for putting me in a cartoon saying I'm going to sue you? That'd be ironic. Yes, you're right, Animated Taco. Omnipotron does have double legs. He is a stupid looking character. He's got the double legs, he's got the double elbows, or double forearms at least, and double heads. Look at this. Not an in-between drawn by me. But I will take it, alright? I am not besmirching the efforts of any of the very excellent animators who worked on this. I had two fantastic assistants who worked, under harsh conditions because it was with me. And they did a good job. Both of them did a great job. And in-betweens, this is the thing. If you're an independent animator, or even if you're not, and you see a rough-looking in-between by someone else, by a major production with a huge budget, usually you just don't notice them in motion, and it's absolutely fine. It's if all the elements are in motion and they're basically in the right place, don't sweat it. As long as the arcs and the timing are there, then you don't need to worry too much. I'm talking about timing, and this shot is timed out by me, and it's not a very well timed shot, but I wanted it to be stiff. That's part of the comedy, that he just goes,
no, I don't think so.
I had to go back and forth. We had 2 takes of him going, no, I don't think so. And one, he's like angrier. And I feel like we still went too angry. I kind of wish it was just, no, I don't think so. You know, just more kind of happy. I wish I'd done it more like that. But the other take was him going, no, I don't think so. And it's just not Dr. Bees. Dr. Bees isn't that callous. He's more just stupid. He's basically just an idiot. Okay, so this shot here, I'm dragging my feet again. I'm dragging the wagon because I don't want to do it because it's work and effort. So it's this.
Comfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
Okay, so that's it. So it's him. So what we want is the comfortizer, the gun on the floor in a close-up, which is going to be something like this. It's kind of a stupid design. It's kind of a stupid design. When I was, ideating, conceptualizing the cartoon, I decided to go with stupid for everything. It's a stupid design. Looks like an Auga horn with a pillow coming out the top. And there we go, like that. And like that. Kind of like that. I guess there's a trigger. You never see the trigger, but... And like that. Okay, so this is just...
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer.
Okay, maybe the gun... I don't know how much of the gun we want to see. In my heart of hearts, I was kind of thinking it would be more this sort of thing with his hand sort of, hang on, stretched out. Like, you literally have to see me do the entire shot from scratch. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is what I should have been doing, months ago. So that's supposed to be a hand. I'm sorry.
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
So what I was thinking is it would be a shaky, angry-looking hand with a couple of bee stings on it. Like there and there, on the back of the hand, I guess. And then we basically just create a little loop. In fact, let's try and figure that out now. If I put this inside its own little clip here and make it a graphic, this is what I was sort of intending, is that we would have it would basically be this. With the fingers kind of, doing something. I don't know what. Okay, so he has to look all feeble and beaten up. Let's have the point of rotation back, so in case we do anything with that. Okay, that looks too... It needs to look more fucked up than that. Oh, there we go. Something like that. Okay, that's a hand coming in. How long is the shot? It's from frame 420. Hey, 420! That's the date today as well in the UK. If you do the month before the... Hang on. How do Americans do it and how do British people do it? 9/11, so it's month first. If you do... Yeah, it's 420 today, but not in Britain. Yes, it's 420, but not in Britain. In Britain, it's 24. Okay. Yeah, anyway, it's frame 420, and it stops on frame 492, so that's 72 frames? Am I right in thinking that? Let me see. Let's just put it at 72. That's a bit too long, but just to see if we're right. No, it's a 73 frame shot because it includes the 420th frame. Annoying. That's great. Good job, Harry. Okay, and let's copy and paste this gun. The perspective probably isn't right, but something like this.
I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is we'll actually start with the hand off frame. That way, if you start with things out of frame, continuity is much less of an issue. It's great. So, Gregor the Scott says, coming soon to the Harry Partridge channel, pre-production. What is pre-production? By the way, everyone, Gregor has been helping me, not really with sort of animation, you know, but some sort of checking and some guidance and stuff. But he's just a good guy to bounce ideas around with, and he's got a credit on this cartoon as a production assistant. But we're going to work together more closely on my next cartoon, which is going to have pre-production. It's not a meme; it is coming. In fact, we're going to go back to talking about Grease, the musical. For some reason, there's in the movie Grease 2, there's a song called Reproduction that goes reproduction. How does the pollen do the thing? Reproduction, make my stamen go berserk. Anyway, we're gonna take that song and change the lyrics to pre-production, and it's gonna be about my next cartoon. Alright, shut up, Harry. Get to work. So we want this hand coming in from off screen. And probably a little faster than that. And then what I'm going to do is have the gun somewhere, so it's sort of... Alright, so... maybe the gun is more facing us like this, okay? I drew it without even thinking of the perspective. But this is pre-production, everyone. This is exactly what I should be doing. It's called planning your shots. You should be doing that if you're making a cartoon. It'd be nice if I could get the whole gun in the shot, which is a bit tricky. I can shrink it a little bit. That's the thing. I want him to put his hand, lay his hand on top of it. I feel, you know, if the gun was reversed, it might be more believable actually that you could get your hand around it from that perspective. You know what I mean? Maybe that's better. Maybe if it's flipped. Maybe if it's flipped, it can be a bit bigger. That's too big maybe now. I'm just thinking, how could he get his hands on the grip of the gun and have it all look good?
Perhaps if I could use the ball, perhaps if I could use the cup.
Yeah, not so sure about that. I'm gonna still flip it, maybe. So I'm thinking I may just have to have him slam down his, just have him slam down his hand around the handle of the gun. The handle should be probably in a slightly smarter place, like back here, which is kind of more where it'd actually be situated with the trigger. And it's not quite so chunky. I don't know why I'm drawing it so fat. Why is that bit of handle not coming, please? There we go. Very nice framing on the last shot. Well, thank you, Ericman. I'm not sure exactly what shot you're talking about. Gregor Scott says the next cartoon is going to be a Grease-themed musical. Yeah, no, it is. It's all Grease. We're just making Grease 3. We could have called it Threes, okay? Alright.
Perhaps if I could use the... Perhaps if I could use the...
Gotta squish it a little bit more. Won't draw it so squished, but just to get the perspective. Alright, I think this is probably what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have the hand come in all kind of messed up. And then let's put the gun on the layer below. I think it's just going to have to do this, basically. He's going to have to just slam his hand down around the gun and kind of pull it away with him. Which doesn't quite work for the next shot, but... Hang on, I have a toy gun. Let me get a toy gun. Sure, I have a toy gun around here somewhere. I'm just trying to figure out where my hand would actually fit. I have a video game controller on the ground. It's kind of the same thing. Let me, my hand comes in like, okay, you know, I've got it. I got it, guys. The thumb needs to be in a totally different place. All right. This is what we should be. This is storyboarding, everyone. This is important. The thumb should be kind of outstretched with the hand, you know? Like that. So it's all in profile. And it's a little bit more awkward that way. And it'll be shaking and stuff. And on the pinky. What are we doing tonight, Kinky? The pinky shouldn't be like that. It should be kind of more curled in, I think. But it's got to look pained, okay? I'll make it look really, really pained. I'll draw, you know, scratches and it'll be all shaky. But this kind of thing where it grabs the gun. Grabs the gun. It's a bit oversized. Ooh. And in this image here, this is the thing now, because the hand's coming in this way, it's a bit more believable that the hand would actually be able to get under the gun. Like so, right? Something like that. I don't know. Oh gosh, maybe it should just be coming in. Hang on, hang on. This is how my brain works. Maybe it should be more like this then. Because if it's believable that it gets under the gun... This is not something you should do on live stream. It takes so much effort. A lot of thinking, I should say. This is the important. Okay, this is important. The arm. He looks too strong. If he's reaching, he should be reaching up. We just totally changed the perspective of the shot. It's fine. Okay, and then it can kind of do that sort of thing where the gun itself could be could be kind of grabbed like that, maybe. And then lift it up. Okay, I know this is extremely rough, but I'm just getting a general sense of the... Obviously, you'd have a chick sound effect. That would be hugely useful. Like that. And then you'd be able to get it out of frame like... Alright, so let's just see how that looks, okay? What is it, 72 frames the shot? 69! That will do something. Let's just take a look. Alright, let's take a look, because it's been very boring, very black and white for a long time.
I sting all over. I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm not satisfied with that, but I think it's all fixable.
Perhaps if I could.
The hand comes in too soon, because he's supposed to be, you know, he's supposed to, his hand, we see his hand right here in this shot, and it's still kind of with him. So what we want to do is wait for the hand to come in. We do want to make sure that it's really still got that shakiness to it, which I was intending when I clean it up, but we'll just put it in for the time being. Honestly, it should cut here. I don't think it needs to leave the shot entirely, because when we get to the next shot, it's already, it's down. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's at an angle, and I could fix that angle slightly, but
I could use the comfortizer on my.
You know what? Okay, I think I've got it. I think it doesn't actually need to leave the shot at all. It just... He just needs to basically get to the point where he's got the gun in his hand. I think that's the key. And once it's in its hand... Well, hopefully I don't need to draw the gun from a million different perspectives, because it's a pain in the butt to draw. Like that. Alright, something like this might be the trick. Alright guys, so I'm thinking this is the shot that I'll probably take into Toon Boom and start cleaning it up. How does it feel to you guys? Let me honestly hear your opinions, because it's kind of interesting. Let's just see.
I sting all over. I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so.
On myself.
It needs to be shaking still, so when he's got the gun, it can't look like he's confident with it. It's still got to look like it's all over the place. Yeah, like that sort of thing. So it's more like
the comfortizer on myself. If I could use the comfort.
Maybe that should come in sooner. Comfortizer on myself. And maybe at the end, around the 72-minute mark. 72 minutes. I wish the 72 frame mark it could start to lift up, possibly.
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself. No.
I mean, I feel like with nice quality drawing and animation and not chicken scratch, it's Turbotoxin says if you flip the gun, you can grab it more naturally. Really? I don't know what you mean by that, really. Flip it how? Flip it and reverse it. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. He would sort of spin it around, but my concern, it's not really a big concern. I think my concern is that the, where is the gun in the shot? Okay, it's with the, okay, so it's actually that way. Not that you see it really, but it's the handle is actually nearer him. The grip, whatever. And here it's okay. It's facing the wrong way. But that doesn't mean anything really. I don't care that much about that continuity. Terranium has a point. Let me see what Terranium's point is. You don't need to show him actually grabbing it. Just have his hand shake as he's reaching for it and then cut. He gets the idea across as to what he's doing. Dude, I think you're right. I think you're right, and it would certainly be a lot less work to not actually have him touch it.
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
Yeah. Let me see. Can we start this? I got this crappy tween here of the hand, which sort of should have been frame by framed, but I just thought it would be okay with the tween because I didn't storyboard it. Let me see. So it starts down here. Just wonder if we could hide it a little bit more. Hide where it sort of starts from. It was weird. It's weird how the shoulder kind of appears. You know what? That shoulder is not fun. Let me just fix old Mr. Shoulder here. Oh boy, what am I doing? I'm drawing on the wrong layer.
On myself.
Yeah, maybe it just needs to start a little bit more to the left. Ah! Nope.
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer. On.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do what Terranium said and make it really simple, not even have him literally touch it. Dude, I'm just gonna Terranium. You know what? Let's get out of here. Let's finish this stupid shot, and let's just literally do this. Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna stop that there and there. Because now we can have the hand kind of do whatever we want. Yeah. Okay, so this is what we're thinking of going with now.
Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, that works. Does that work for anyone else? We'll do nice animation. We'll make it look good. You know, we'll draw the floor and stuff and try and make it look pretty.
Could use the comfortizer.
Gotta make it a bit lower to get the hand in there.
Comfortizer on myself.
Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take these images and spit them out into you know what, I think we really just need the gun. That's the only thing I want to actually draw from that perspective. The hand can be improved. Put them into Toon Boom and we'll clean them up and draw them nicely in Toon Boom. Super D-Slay says, that looks great, Harry. Great suggestion, Terranium. Yeah, it looks better. Terranium's right. Less is more. Let's do it. He looked too alive. When he actually grabbed his gun, he looked like he had too much life in him, and it's funnier if he's just so feeble it takes him half an hour to touch the gun. Alright guys, what I'm going to do is quickly take a break so that I can use... Wait, no, I don't need to use the bathroom yet. But I'm going to take a break while I switch over software. I'll be back in 2 seconds. See you in a minute. Hey, I nearly got it to change over in time with the theme tune, but I still needed a second. Alright, so we're in Toon Boom here. Toon Boom. We're going to get a nice fat brush. I'm thinking a 10. It's going to do the trick. And basically, I mean, this is really boring, guys. I'm just going to draw the gun. Of which I've already drawn many times before. But because it's a still frame, we can spend a little bit more time getting it to look nice. And do some straight lines. I think it has a curved top. Kind of a curved dome. Not dome, but a... yeah, just a curved top like that. Can't draw today. Nope. Nope. That'll do. That'll do, pig. Yeah. And then we'll move this guy in a little bit. So this is just the comfortizer, his silly gun that he uses. And let's sort of try and draw it in perspective, but it's all going to be freehand and probably not look too great. I can do better than that. Okay, so that's the bulk of it. Let me give us a nice big eraser. Pre-production, make my pollen go to work. Pre-production, make my stamen go berserk. Yeah. It's sort of like that. So it's a gun that sends people to sleep. And it has... well, it doesn't really send them to sleep, it makes them relaxed. Which can mean going to sleep in some scenes. And want to shrink this side of the pillow down a little bit. It has like a pillow as a magazine. I guess the pillow runs out of whatever feathers or whatever is inside it, and he has to load in a new one when he's out of ammo. So there we go. Appreciate your help, Terranium, and chat. As always, guys, you help keep me going, literally in this case. Certainly helping this cartoon get finished, another 2 hours sooner, because it would have taken me way too long to do that shot with the actual animated holding and picking up of the gun. I feel like the handle needs to be bigger, more like the actual original sketch. And we're going to try and fix some wonky lines here. There you go. Oh boy, there you go. And there's some sort of grooves on the gun. Which, you know, I've never actually drawn the gun before in this much detail. So it's going to be interesting. Let's just grab those groovy grooves. Nope. Nope. Just those two. And stick them in there just to give it a little bit more detail. Hyper anime detail. That's what the kids love. Dr. Bees is going to be interpolated to 60 frames per second. The kids are going to love it. They're going to love it. It's going to be much funnier when it's 60 frames per second. I don't like these grooves. I don't know. They're not working for me anymore. I don't like them. You know, they don't I don't cut it. They're too fat, maybe. Because I've just drawn them as single lines, so maybe they just need to be tighter. I think it's too fat. There you go. Seems a little bit more believable with a fatter. No, I'm just gonna get rid of. Just gonna get rid of them. Just gonna get rid of them and just draw straight lines. This is the thing. I always have a tempted to put in too much detail in a cartoon. Whenever you have to actually draw something that's not animated, it's sort of tempting to put in all extra detail, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. It's just gonna make you cry. And gosh, I definitely have neighbors that smoke weed. I tell you that. I have my window open on these hot summer nights. Tell me more. On these hot nights, it's been really warm, so I've been keeping the windows open, and there's some weed smoking going on for sure. I don't mind. It's nice in a way. Get a second-hand hit off it, but it's not subtle. All right. Can I just draw that handle, please? And there you go. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna color this part of the gun in black. There's quite a few areas where we used quite a lot of sort of graphic blacks because it's kind of a comic book world, so you want some of those sort of shines and stuff like on Dr. Bees' gloves. Just wanted that handle a little skinnier on that grip. Maybe. No. Alright, let's see what the chat is saying. This is tedious as hell. Hello, Tui Kana. I'm not sure how I say that name. Harry, do the thing, animate the stuff. I'm trying. It's going very, very slowly, but I'm trying over here. Hey, Shivery. Shivery says I'm using Toon Boom 2. The kata is god tier. The kata is extremely useful. God bless the kata. Well, yeah, you're right, bruh. It is 420 after all, or 24 over here in the UK. But yeah, I mean, why would they care? It would. It's not like they probably need an excuse anyway. I'm gonna draw an ellipse with the ellipse tool because I'm a crazy guy like that. That's too thick. Let me see. Was it a 10 I was using? Just because I'm not going to be trusted to draw any kind of circle that looks halfway decent. Okay, let's just sort of do that a little bit, maybe. Maybe go in a little bit more and fan out a bit more to get that sort of, I don't know what you call it, that kind of ogre horn effect. Let's just flip it and take a look. How is this looking? Not great. Actually, the circle being more imperfect, I kind of prefer. Alright, so we're gonna have a lot of darkness inside the gun. Still feel like this part could be skinnier. And maybe this whole thing is a bit too... I'm seeing a little bit too much inside. More like that, maybe. It's getting worse and worse. This deal's getting worse all the time. Come back to that, maybe. Maybe come back to the end. It's giving me grief. It's providing grief. Nope. That's not what I want. Nope, that's not what I wanted either. Why is it misbehaving? I'm trying to color the area black. Good grief. No closed gap. Close small gaps. I love this sort of pigeon English. No closed gap. Close large gap. No closed gap. Close large gap, please. What the fuck? Why isn't it doing it? They're on the same layer. Is it the ellipses? Is it its own thing, maybe? But not the... Yeah, the circle tool. It doesn't recognize the brush strokes, maybe. That worked. It looks crappy, but it's my shading that looks crappy. That's probably better. There's a little bit of kind of that sort of thing inside. I don't know, just to show you that it's dark inside. Alright. This is not winning any perspective drawing awards. I'm sorry, folks, but we gotta get this thing done and it's kicked out any way we can. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, like that. Alright, so let me pull that in a little bit more. Maybe that connecting piece could be a little bit longer. We're pretty much coming to the actual end of having the sort of main part of the gun figured out. Might make that black. I don't know. Do we need any more graphic blacks? I feel like graphic blacks are a really nice idea, but they're hard to make look not like crap. Yeah, that looks like crap. Okay. And we're gonna do a nice squiggly bit there. I'm kind of assuming that people are in the chat saying, Harry, you should redraw this bit. Harry, you should improve that bit. I haven't looked up in a while because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed about how bad the drawing is I'm doing here. So I don't really want to look up and just have it reaffirmed for me by other people saying, Harry, that looks bad. I know, part of me thinks with some colouring it'll be okay. And we need the little Z's at the top. So these are a pain to draw. The perspective's going to be hard. Something like to this kind of effect. Yeah, see, they shouldn't... See, like, what the top is coming out less than the bottom. I guess like that, maybe? These. We just need to draw one, and we'll copy and paste it 3 times. Okay, so that would be. Yeah, it doesn't just looks funky. And do they go bigger towards the end of the gun, or do they get smaller towards the end of the gun? Can we? Is there even a reference point anywhere? Oh, they get bigger towards the end of the gun. Okay. All right. Well, guys, we're nearly done with this. You are the most patient people. Anybody that's hung around for the whole stream. There's not many of you out now, but thank you very much. Hey, Storktoons, finishing up the new tunes. Sweet, I'm excited. Everyone, Storktoons is an excellent animator. And Storktoons and I are actually going to be working together soon. Storktoons is going to be helping me out on the next cartoon, whatever that will be. But he is absolutely right in that this cartoon is certainly nearly done. Now, this is in fact the last shot that I'm working on today. And what a boring shot it is, but it's a necessary one. Because, because it is. Yeah, yeah, that'll do the trick. Whatever. Oh boy, I'm gonna take this fella and let's move him down towards the top and then copy and paste him 2 times. Just make the stick a bit thicker so it sort of still looks like it's made out of the same materials. And I'm gonna try and fix the issue with the lines being so skinny looking. It's a weird design. Oi. And like that. Something like that. And we'll fix the lines being too skinny because they really are on the smallest of the 3 letter Z's. Alright, so let's go with a smaller eraser and just clean up some of this. No, that's way too small, Harry. Harry, that's too small. You've ruined everything. Let's go with a... There we go. Alright. Okay. Are we is that nearly finished, that gun? Basically, I feel it is. I feel like maybe this handle could have a little bit of a sort of a graphic to match the butt of the gun. Nope, it's not what I want. Something like this. And then I think that's the gun drawn. I think it looks okay. It doesn't look great. It's not going to win any awards, but it'll do the trick for the end of the cartoon, where we see the gun in a close-up as he reaches out for it. Just put a little something in there, maybe, or not. All right, so I'll combine the layers in a minute. in Flash, but we'll just focus on the hand for now because we're nearly done. We're nearly done, and then my gosh, we can all go home. It's 3 minutes past 10, so I wanna hurry this thing up. I'd like to see Joyce tonight before she goes to bed. So okay, I don't like this hand being out with the palm facing. I feel like it's just a little bit too. Looks too healthy. I want to see more of the kind of gnarled top of the hand. And I want to see the back of the hand because I think it will be all bee stung and weird looking. We want to see that. So I think it's important that we get the hand right. I may bring Joyce up and have her talk about tonight. Let's see if she'd be up for that. Okay, want a couple of bee stings. Something like that. Yeah, that's better. That's more like what we want. So let's clean that up. Okay, so he's got a gnarly knuckle. He's got these big stings on his hand. And he's just got to look all messed up. Don't want to do too much detail on the knuckles, actually. That's weird. And something like that. I mean, he's not elderly, so I'm not going to draw him looking like, you know, too sort of messed up with liver spots and things on his hands, but he's just got to look shaky, I think. And we'll do that with the animation. That's the more important thing. We'll really mess it up and make it look like he's jittery and stuff. And having all the effed up fur on his bathrobe kind of will help do that too. Hang on. Alright, so we're gonna add a tear here, just why not? He's been ripped and beaten and bloodied. Some sort of folds there. Then I guess another tear. Alright, well I'm good with that for a hand, and I'm gonna create a 3-frame loop, which I think tends to be pretty good for people who are sort of shaking and vibrating. You want 2 or 3 frames. And what we're going to do for this is we're going to take our hand that we've got here, and what's all this stuff? This is all this is all background stuff. We don't need this anymore. We can just delete all this. So take this 1 frame, and we're going to move it really back a good way and down a good way. and I'm going to move the fabric forward so it sort of feels like there's some resistance. Like, for example, on the little tear here, we're going to move the drapey, flappy bit. We're going to pull that forward too. Going to move everything slightly up. Basically, what it's going to do is going to provide that loop with kind of a sense of things sort of flapping around a little bit. That sort of thing. Alright, some stuff is going to have to be redrawn, I think. I'm going to redraw a couple of these little sort of tufts and things so that they have a little bit more vitality to them. And what we'll do then is sort of... Man, the envelope tool is so useful for this sort of thing. You can just basically take a drawing and just change it and morph it around. That sort of stuff. That's kind of things I used to dream about. I'm so glad that we basically have that in the new Toon Boom. I mean, it's been in Toon Boom for a while, but it used to crash a lot. But it works really nicely now, basically. Has never crashed on me. Although saying that, I'm going to save just in case. Don't want to lose the work we've got. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is as he pulls back, have the hand. You don't want to go too nuts with when you're doing loops. You know, you don't want the movement to be too big if you're just trying to create kind of a jitter. Just want something that you couldn't sort of, yeah, just like maybe redraw that one finger, sort of move some stuff around and get variety, and then when we in between it with one in between, it'll feel like animation. This is all a complete cheat, by the way, but it's going to sort of give us the effect that we want. Yeah, like have something go behind something else, and then it'll feel like animation. Okay, like oh boy. Alright, so gonna clean up some of this stuff now, like the overlaps that don't work, and some lines that are a little bit ugly and broken like me. And let me see, with that line there, kind of on the back of the hand, we want that to be doing something a little bit different. Alrighty. Alright, so that would probably work as a 2-frame loop itself, but I think it's going to be nicer as a 3-frame loop. So I'm going to just do one hand-drawn in between, and do it hand-drawn because it'll have a little bit more kind of, I don't know, a little bit more movement to it, a little bit more life, and that hand-drawnness I think will add some of that shake back in. Hello, Nelly. Nelly says, Harry, I'm curious, as you animated in both Flash and Toon Boom, which one would you say is better? Toon Boom is better if you could only pick one, but unfortunately, I'm so used to Flash. I still work in Animate, which is the new name for Flash. I still work in it and compile and do everything basically other than the cleanup. You know, I do all the planning in Flash because I'm good at moving things around and sort of trying stuff out in Flash. But when it actually comes time to really do the work, I do it all in Toon Boom. So we're just going to do a basic hand-drawn in between. So guys, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is do this, finish this in between, and I'm going to move the shot, or kind of compile the shot together so we can get a sense of what it looks like. I will then have to color it, and I'm thinking I'm going to color it off stream, which I know is bad, but you gotta trust me when I say it is the last shot. It's just that maybe I'm having too much fun, doing a little bit too much talking, but I am not moving at the speed I want to tonight. And even though it's really important I get this cartoon finished, and I can finish it tonight, I should probably see Joyce tonight. Although I could, just thinking maybe I could come back and do it on stream either later tonight or tomorrow and actually really finish and say, hey everyone, okay, we're really finished now, 100%. We'll see. It's not the end of the world if I have to color it off stream, because it's a really easy shot to finish, and this is technically me animating. I just wouldn't be coloring it too on stream. Okay. Alright, so animation-wise, this hand is not too tricky because it's pretty much... We're favoring the last position, so I'm sort of looking at where the lines fall and trying to do something closer to the green than the red. But it's going to be imperfect, and you kind of want that imperfection, I think, a little bit with an in-between like this, because it's supposed to look shaky and uneven. You want it to be a little bit random. Let's check that. Yeah, you see what I mean? Just gives it a little something. There's a tiny little bit of something. Alright, what are people saying in the chat? I appreciate that I've not been very talkative over the last hour. Storktoon says TV Paint is pretty rad. Yeah, Storktoons does use TV Paint, and his work is excellent. So, I know you can get really good professional results. It was the industry standard, I think, for years, until people switched to Toon Boom, predominantly. Bad Harry, you should be working non-stop. I know you're joking, Figment, but because I got Stockholm Syndrome, I do feel guilty. I feel guilty. I feel like I should actually be finishing this, but we're going to finish the animation part of it, and we'll sort of compile it for you guys to get a look at. It'll just be uncolored. Alright. Like that. This damn food diary that I've got to do. I really want to order a pizza tonight. And this is a stupid thing. I feel I've earned it. I went to the gym today. I had a haircut. I went grocery shopping. I came home. I worked pretty much non-stop since I got home. I spoke to family on the phone. I live streamed for over 2 hours. And the one thing I want to do is eat a big old pizza before bed, which is the no-no. It's not what I should be doing, because I'm gotta get serious about my health. But oh boy, I could murder a pizza. I do have some tortillas and some nacho cheese, so if the pizza doesn't happen, the nacho cheese's days are numbered. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one. It's gonna be like I'm Sauron in the opening of Lord of the Rings, smashing orcs. Not smashing orcs. He's on the side of the orcs, smashing elves and men, except they're nacho chips. And instead of a giant mace, I'm using my big fat mace-shaped gnarled hand to smash them into my mouth. That's what's going to be happening with the nacho chips, and the nacho cheese, and the tortilla chips. If Joyce doesn't acquiesce to me getting a pizza. Not that I need her to acquiesce, but the personal trainer wants me to go back in the gym tomorrow, and I was in there today, and then I'd have to meet him on Thursday. I don't really want to do 3 days in a row. So I would really like to have a pizza and not have to think about working out tomorrow. Alright. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to head over to Flash. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just switching over software. See you in a moment, guys. Hey, and we're back. I see Terranium is insistent that I finish the shot on stream. Maybe I have to come back tomorrow. Maybe I just delay the finishing. Is that what you... Would you be happy with that? Is that the lesser of two evils, buddy? That I come back and I do it tomorrow? The real final shot? Because this one's called Finishing Dr. Bees. It's not called the final shot, to be fair. It's called Finishing Dr. Bees. There could be Finishing Dr. Beast Part 2, which would be the actual finishing of the cartoon. Alright, we're gonna compile the gun. I just didn't want to. I wanted to make the. Oh, look how, man, the I didn't realize the line of the end of the gun is all screwed up. If you look at that, the ellipses needs to be corrected. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Oh, it's doing that because yeah, it's using the line tool. Well, let's go to shape, convert lines to fills. Sorry, lines, but my buddy fills are going to be filling in for you. That's better. We can actually edit it properly now and not have it break apart. Okay. I mean, I could still work on the cartoon tomorrow. I could still do sound effects and, you know, and credits and stuff. I don't actually have to stop working on the cartoon to wait 24 hours to do the final part of this shot on a stream. So I can still make progress. I still have things to do that are not animation. Alright, let me see. 1 pixel bigger. And then this one will be, I don't know, 0.5 pixels bigger, maybe 0.3. 0.3 pixels bigger. Yeah, that works. And yeah, I just didn't know how to do that in Toon Boom, so I wanted to make the lines thicker on Flash. And let's copy and paste. Copy and paste. The perspective is not very good on these. Hang on, they need to be. They don't follow. They're not parallel to the lines on the on the actual body of the gun. That's a bit better. It's a little bit better. All right, we'll have to make deal with that. Okay, so I'll color the gun in, which is a combination. It's just 2 different colors. It's like a middle pink and a dark pink, or a sort of muddy pink. And no, it's not it at all, Harry. Oh, don't you just hate it? Just friggin' color in. Let me see. What did Terranium say? Oh, nothing. Hey everyone, it's Marianne. Hello, Marianne. Thank you for coming by today. Guys, I don't know if I should tell you this. I'll just go for it. The Marianne Dandridge who has left a pizza emoji and a kiss is my mum. So I'm not trying to be cool calling her Marianne and pretending it's not really my mum. That's my mum. Hi, mum. How you doing, mum? You should be in bed, shouldn't you? Yeah, that's the butt of the gun. Do. Davy88 says, stream tomorrow or color off stream. Bowser the Dog says, that would be cool, finishing the shot finally, and tomorrow's stream, finishing the shot finally, end game. Yeah, that would be cool. My mum's probably already gone. She probably came in for 2 seconds to leave a pizza emoji. Maybe that was, I see what she was doing. She was voting for pizza. She was saying, Harry, make sure you have pizza tonight. I'm worried that you're losing weight, you're getting too skinny. That was what my mum was getting at. Have a pizza, she was saying. Pizza it up, my boy. Terranium says, don't go telling her to go to bed. Well, come on. She's I'm assuming she works today. Did she work today? I don't know. She usually goes to bed early anyway. There's nothing wrong in that. It's a healthy thing to do. Early to bed, early to rise, Terranium. Actually going to make just the inside of the barrel a little darker. A little more blue. A little less saturated. In bed with a massive pizza and beer. Oh, you've got the pizza! Mum, can you post some over? Can you post me a pizza? Can you send a carrier pigeon with a... No, please don't. Please don't. Joyce would kill me. This is not going so well. I thought I'd find a nice dark tone. Oh boy. Alrighty. Well, I think the gun looks okay. So that's going to be on one layer. Let's go back to our nice shot.
Comfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on my...
We'll slap that in there. Be gone, rough artwork. Your big brother's come to town. He's going to replace you. He's going to replace you like... I was gonna make some comment there about other things being replaced. No, it wasn't funny. All right, okay, there you go. That looks better. All right, and now the hand. Oh, I said I wouldn't color it, didn't I? Oh, you guys, I'm totally betraying you all. I promised you I wouldn't finish the shot on stream. Well, I'm not. I tell you what, I'm not gonna color the hand. There we go. We colored the gun. It's just me running on autopilot there. Absolute autopilot. And I'll just copy and paste the frames of the hand in the shot to give you guys all an idea of what things are going to look like when they're together. So let's grab our hand graphic, which is here. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:30 nearly. Yeah, I gotta be running, guys. But I'll tell you what, I promise. The cartoon, when it is absolutely finished 100%, will be on live stream, and I think that's going to be tomorrow. So I'll come back tomorrow for another live stream, and we'll finish this shot. I'm thinking now, do I have some lip sync? I may actually have some lip sync I want to redo. There's a bit I was using reusing old 2013 mouths to do some lip sync, and I thought, I could redo that. I could do that on live stream too, maybe, or maybe not. So there we go. That's our rough hand, like that. This is our new hand, like that. Could be slightly bigger, I think, too. Don't think that would hurt anyone. Something more like that kind of size. It's a little bit closer to actually being. The handle is too short, but whatever. There you go. Don't know if I like that. Let me see. Let me flip it and reverse it like Missy Elliott. Oh, that's better. That's better with the frames reversed. I wonder, could I move him back more too? Like that, so it's kind of...
Perhaps if I could use the comfort...
No, that's too crazy. It looks like he's going through an earthquake. It's fine with the hands just... Oh, no. We want to resize it. Alright guys, well there we have a rough version of the shot. It's not really rough as much as it is just unfinished. So I'll just show you again for some context what we're working with. I thought we'd finish tonight, but we spent a lot of time polishing the other shot. So we're not quite finished, but I promise I'll finish on the next live stream, which will be tomorrow, okay? So there we go.
I sting all over. I'm so uncomfortable. Perhaps if I could use the comfortizer on myself.
No, I don't think so. Instead, we should look to see who's really behind in this infernal...
Spoilers! You don't get to see anymore. You don't get to see anymore. Alright everyone, I really appreciate you coming by today, and I know it's kind of a dud stream because I didn't actually get to finish the cartoon, but we'll do part 2 tomorrow and I'll finish for real, okay? Finish for real, we'll finish this shot off, have like, you know, a shadow under the gun and the handle colored in nice and stuff like that. It'll all look fantastic. Really appreciate you being here. It was a long old stream today. It'll probably be a shorter stream tomorrow. But it'll be a fun one. It'll be really satisfying. Then the visuals of this cartoon are done. All the backgrounds, all the animation, all the lip sync. 7 minutes of the thing are done, and I think it'll be really funny. And you'll get to see it very soon, before the end of the month. Definitely before the end of the month. If you're on Patreon, it may take a little bit longer to come out on the main channel, but if you're on Patreon and on the Discord, you'll definitely get to see it before the end of the month, and then we'll be working on new exciting things. All right, everyone. I'll catch you very, very soon. Thank you everyone, Northy Tunes, Stork Tunes, Jacob Carmine, Donny Art, Bowser the Dog, Magma Muncher, Figment, Nelly L, Agsma, Sid Sugar Skull, Darby88, Terranium of course, Gregor when he was by earlier, Dos Shuts, hey Dos Shuts, don't think I said hello to you yet, and of course my mum, who was in the chat briefly. She's probably fallen asleep now. Alright everyone, awesome to have you here in the animation booth with me, whatever that means, in the cubicle. I'm gonna go and pile drive Joyce into a pizza, or not, probably a plate of nachos, because I think I got maybe not consume 2,000 calories of cheese before bed, maybe only 700. Take care everyone. Love you to bits. Have a good one. Bye bye. See you soon.